I'm like, hey, raise my hand. I'm just wondering, if you say cussing is a sin and, but these words weren't necessarily around when the Bible was written, is this actually a sinful act? Or is it just the intention maybe that comes behind it that we just deem sinful? My thing, I remember specifically, man, back in, and this is gonna sound a little crazy to some people, so I apologize. But I'm a church going guy. I grew up in the church. Um, I had at one point in time during Bible study, I just thought to myself, man, they always say it's a sin to cuss, right? These cuss words, they was around when these so you get what I'm saying, you get what I'm coming at, right? So I'm like, I'm just sitting there thinking, I'm like to myself, and just one day I thought to myself, and this I'm like 14, so and I'm just thinking to myself, I'm like I'm kind of mulling it over for like weeks, and I'm just finally I'm like, okay, I'm gonna ask, I'm gonna go in the Bible study, I'm gonna ask. So I'm like, hey, raise my hand. I'm just wondering, if you say cussing is a sin and, but these words weren't necessarily around when the Bible was written, is this actually a sinful act? Or is it just the intention maybe that comes behind it that we just deem sinful? Like, so that was my first instance of like really questioning something that it was like, ingrained into my, like my mind from a kid. And it just allowed me to be able to say like, okay, obviously that's something that's very big to question religion and and what is sinful, not sinful, but still it was my first sighting of me kind of like opening my mind up to different, like thinking, just thinking differently and just different possibilities.
Do you remember what the response was?
Oh yeah. Listen,
I gotta hear that one.
listen. All right. So response was one, don't ever question God. That was the first thing. That's number one. Don't ever question God. And I still listen to that day. I still stand by that. I don't question God. As far as when things happen, I try not to say. I used to be all the time like, why God, why God, this. But as I've gotten older, acceptance, and we'll probably get to that on a different episode, but acceptance is one of those things that's very key in life, and so that allows me to not question God so much. But first was why God. Secondly was go upstairs to the adult class and go sit with your parents. We're gonna tell them what happened.
Oh, okay.
And yeah, and so definitely got that, that whooping. Got that old school whooping.
So no direct response to the question.
Yeah, direct response to the question. Never got an answer.
No direct response. Just got your ass whooped.
Fair enough. I won't ask again. I won't ask again. But
yep. All right.
yeah.
Wow. Okay. That's hilarious.
Hey man, but
Well, yeah.
I don't regret it. Is what I'm saying. I don't regret it.
You shouldn't. I don't think it.
Yeah.
No, I think because, like you said, that was kind of like the initial moment that had you realizing the things that go through my mind aren't all like irrational or dumb. Like I need to start listening to some of that stuff in there.
Yeah.
Like those internal thoughts that we'd like to push to the side a lot. Mostly, I want to say mostly because it's not conforming to the group.
Yeah.
Right. It's
like that comfortability.
Yeah. That comfortability of, is this going to make me an ostracized person from this group? If I say this, if I have this idea, if I go and do this thing, maybe then I'll just stay here and not do anything instead.
Not rock the boat.
Like I said, I had been thinking about it for weeks, and it was just something like I was like, yo, I can't say this. I can't this is gonna be the craziest thing. Like I'm questioning the Bible essentially and how it was written. But to your point, yeah.